Everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Stevie. So today I'm going to show us how to create an API monitoring system in GOLANG. So how to create an API monitoring system in GOLANG. So if you are watching this video and you've not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button, and then don't forget as well to turn on the notification button so that anytime I release a videos like this, you'll be the first person to get the notification. So without any further ado, let's get started. So there is this package I'm going to be showing us, right? It's called API Pulse. So I built this package. So what does this package does? So this package helps us to monitor our API. That is, I'm going to be dropping the link to this package in the description. So let's just quickly go through the documentation and see what this API does. So the features is that it's metrics, it collects metrics, that is metrics collection. So it gathers details metric on API requests, the counts, the durations, the errors as well, and then the request size of that particular endpoint. And then another thing it does is that request logging. So it logs incoming requests and responses with their status. Then another thing it does is that we can check the health status of our endpoints, then rate limits. So limit the rate of incoming requests based on client IP address. So if you want to limit the number of requests for security purpose, so if you want to limit the number of requests that you want anybody to make to your endpoint, then this package, you can definitely make use of this package. And then another one again is error recovery. So it's recovered from any panic errors. You know, normally when you have a panic errors in GOLANG, it's going to stop your application from running. So instead of your application to stop running, this application is going to help you to recover from that particular error. So enough of talking, let me just quickly show us how this application works. It's very simple. Okay, this particular package, rather, how it works. So the first thing we need to do is to copy this, right? So let's go into our VS Code. So I already open a folder in my VS Code. So what I just need to do is to open a terminal, even though I've already installed this package, but let me just show us how this is done. So you open your terminal and then you paste this, then you click enter. So it's going to get this particular package inside your application where you want to use this particular package. So the next thing we need to do is that let's go back to that documentation and then let's see the basic sample. So here is the basic sample. So we just need to copy all of this guy here, and then let's see how it works. So let's come back to our VS Code. We come here, we paste, right? So let me quickly explain what is going on here. So the first step we need to do is to initiate this particular package, right? So what's happening here is that we are passing the number of requests per minute to make it to our endpoints. This simply means that in the space of 1 minute, we want anybody that is trying to make an API request to our endpoint to be able to call this endpoint 100 times per minute. So you can limit this. You can even say maybe once per minute. You can say 1,000 per minute, depending on the number of API requests you want to be made per minute. You can even change this to per seconds or per hour, depending on what you want. So here we register the metrics, right? And then this particular metrics, what we are trying to do here is that we create a route where we can easily see the metrics of what is going on with our endpoint. I'm going to be showing us how this works, and then we can check the health status of our endpoint, right? If it is doing well, if it's okay. And here, what is happening here is that now, if you now want to see what is happening, right? Let's say you have like multiple endpoints that you create. So what you just need to do is just to wrap your endpoint, right, inside this particular monitor.interceptor.intercept. So it's just like a middleware, right? It's a middleware that helps you to track, to monitor your endpoint. So any of your endpoint that you wrap this particular package with is going to track your endpoint, right? So let's say I want to create another endpoint. Now let me come here and copy this guy here. So when I paste, okay, so let's say I change this guy to another route here. Let's say we have another route called example. So let's change the message we want to display. Let's say this is an example. This is an example API. Okay, so then let's save this. So this is an example API. So what happened is that we don't forget that we already wrapped this endpoint with this package. So what it does is that it's going to be monitoring every activities, right? The log from is going to recover from any panic request, right, that might want to happen, and then it's going to be able to check the metrics, the health status of this endpoint, because we've already wrapped our endpoint with this particular package. So let's see how it works now. So let's just do go run. That's mean. So our package is running. So I'm going to be using terminal client here. So the first thing we need to do is that let's check this route. We see we have hello world, right? So now let's come here and then let's check the example. So let's check the example. Don't forget that in our terminal here, something is happening here. Now look at it now. We are having the logs, right, of that particular request that we made. So it's a get method. So and then we have what the header includes, right? And then we have the user client that is trying to make a request to our endpoint. That is the number one. Don't forget that in the documentation, what this package does is that we said it's log request. Look at its request login. So in which that is currently happening here. So we are logging the request, right? So we have the incoming request. So the method, we have the URL, which is this. We also have what is included in the header. We also have the user agent that is trying to make a request. So all these logs are very important. We as well have the status, right, of that particular request, which is 200, which is definitely correct. So now let's come here and then let's say this example. Let's click. This is an example API. So look at what is happening at the log again. So we have the method is get, then the URL. So we also have all the parameters that is on the header trying to make this request. Okay. So and then we also have the user agent that is making this request for us. So yeah. So having done that, so the next thing I want to show us now is that let's check the metrics. Okay, so for us to be able to see what is happening in these metrics, let me copy this and then let me go to my browser here. So let me open a new tab and let's check the metrics. So look at it here now. Beautiful. See what is happening now. Look at our metrics. So let me just explain what is going on here, right? So don't forget that here is a kind of a description of what is happening. So the first one we're saying that API in progress request. That is there any API that is currently making a request? No, it's 0, because which is true. There is no API that is currently making a request. So now look at the number of APIs that has already made a request on our server. So don't forget that we make a request to this part. Then we make another request to this example part, which the status is okay and okay. Then how many number of times do we make this request? So let me come back here. You know it's the same one now for this part. So for this example too, it's saying we make one. So let's come back into Thunder client here. So let me make another request to this example. To this example here. Sorry. Example. Okay. So look at it here. This is an example API. So by the time I come back to this matrix here and then I reload this, look at it now. See what happens there. So we have this example here saying we've made a request twice, which is absolutely correct. We've made a two times request to this particular endpoint example. So now let's look at what is happening here. These are the number of time it took our endpoint to respond, right? To make the number of time it takes our endpoint to respond. Now for this part, now look at the process, right, of which this endpoint request responded. So this is the sum total, right, of the time it took our endpoint to respond. So the same thing goes for example here. So in which is telling us is twice that we make this request. So the number of sizes as well. So this is going to really help you to know the condition of your API, right? And it's going to help you to this data is going to help you to know how you can optimize your endpoint very well. So here we have the number of sizes, right, that our endpoint is consuming, right? The response sizes here is there. So as you can see here now, that is the response sizes here. So all of this is helping us to make track of our endpoints. So if you come here now and change the route to health, it's going to help us to see the health status. Look at it now. The status is LD of this particular endpoint. So now let's come back here. I want to show us something. Don't forget that I've been able to show us that the this package says it can help us to log requests. I've showed us that. It's saying that it can help us to check the metrics of our program. I've been able to show that as well, the health status, and then it claims that it can help us to recover from any panic, right? So let's see how that works here. So I'm going to come here, then let me intentionally here create a panic here. Let me say panic, and then something went wrong. So this is the panic that happens, right? So let me save. Normally if this panics happen without this particular package, now let me remove this package, and then let me show you what is going to happen if this panic happens. So let me save, and then let's try to go to this route, this example. So okay, let me click send. Okay, I need to stop, and then let me clear. So then let me run this package again. It's saying something is missing. Where is that? Okay, we made a mistake here. Yeah, see. Okay, let me save, and then let's run the program again. Let me clear. Okay, so everything is running the way it's supposed to. So let's try to make a request now to this example, and let's see what is going to happen here. So when I click send, you see what happens. Our program stopped running. You see, it said connection was forcibly closed by peer, and look at our server here. We get some couple of errors. So with this, users will not be able to make any request. Look at it. They will not be able to make any request to any of the endpoint because our application has stopped running, which is not a good practice, right? So now let's go back here, and then let me undo. Okay, so let me undo this here. I think we are good. Let me see. Yeah, so let me save. Then let me stop this and clear. So let me run this particular program again, and then come back here. You see what is going to happen. Let me click send. You see, instead of our application to stop running, right, what happened is that we get a response, internal server error. So anybody that is making a request to this endpoint will get this response of internal server error. And then look at our program here. Our program is still running, so it helps us to even log what really happens, and then our program still keeps running, so we can even continue to make a request to other APIs, and you see everything still works the way it's supposed to work. So that is the beauty of this package. So I built this package, and then I deployed it for any developer that wants to make use of this package in their project. It's going to help you to track your APIs to the metrics. It's going to log issues for you. So I have been able to show us how this particular package works. So within just 10 minutes or 5 minutes, you can integrate this package in your application and then start using it. It's going to help you to optimize your APIs, help you to monitor the errors, and as well, it's going to help you to improve your application. So if you're having any question, or you feel you can contribute to this, is an open source, if you feel you can contribute to this particular package, please kindly reach out to me, and then let's see how we can work together to improve. If you think there are more things I can add to this particular package, I'm really interested for collaborations. Thank you so much. So if you have any questions, just kindly drop your questions in the comment section, and then let me know how you feel about this package. If it is something good, great, let me know. And then if you really enjoyed this tutorial, kindly hit the subscribe button if you have not yet subscribed. So guys, thank you so much for taking your time to watch. Bye.